welcome to week 5 of Think and Grow Rich, our second week on crystallizing your desire through action with life mastery consultant Christi Corradi.
Okay, hello and welcome. This is Christi Corradi, as you know, and we are in week 2 of crystallizing your dream or your desire through organized planning. This is the step 6 in the Think and Grow Rich book, and we have decided to take a deeper dive this week into a very key part of this work, which is action, taking action, and without action, the circuit is not complete. And you can think of electricity. Without action, the circuit is not complete. So right now, let's stop and take a moment in time to move into that place of gratitude and proud of, so that we can set the tone, weave that net of clarity and understanding to receive what we're about today and to allow it to serve us. My gratitude for today is my core partner in believing group, because I'm doing some great exploration with them, and it's a lot because I'm in this chapter right now myself. What a wonderful place to have a creative network to support me. So I'm grateful for that. And I will say that I am proud of the steps that I am taking in the direction of this next project that I'm working on. So I'm just going to take a moment and pause here. There's so many things to be grateful for and proud of that we have accomplished. This is just a touchstone here for us to create this network. Just take a moment right now and think of your own gratitudes and proud of. Go ahead and write those down. Jumping right into this curriculum, into this material, what I invited you to do this last week was to take a look at the major attributes of leadership and see if you were deficient in any of those areas, and then to see if you could come up with some remedies to those. So some ways to look at these attributes, not as being a leader, but a leader in our own vision building, our own dream building program and plan that we're doing here. So I hope you took a look at that. I know for me it was very valuable this last week. I love being in this work because as I'm in my own evolution here, these tools are helping me and really helping me be on the same path that you are, creating my dream and the next evolution of my life. What I want you to come out with the end of the month, let me just back up a little bit. At the end of this month, the intention is for you to have a clear vision, to create a plan of implementation for that vision. Now, we don't need to know if you have a 3 to 5 year vision. We are not coming up with the end result plan, but we will address that we can work on those qualities of what you would love to have in there. And then to put the plan in action, which is what is a step you can take today. And then to work on persistence or decision making or that idea. Part of my toolkit is really to help people stay in the work and get it in them viscerally and practice it throughout the week, maybe between coaching calls or whatever. And one of the tools, many of you may remember the round to it. It's a little coin that says to it on it. And when somebody says, well, I haven't had time to get around to it. Well, this is the call to action. This is exactly what this chapter is about this month. And it's like now you have a round to it, which is a decision to go for your dream. And a decision to take the steps in the direction of, to have persistence towards your dream and your vision. Okay, whatever it is, whether it's relationship, whether it's your next career, or whether it's your health. You make a plan. So you're going to create a plan, you're going to put the plan into action, and then you're going to have persistence around that. That's the end result of this week. And we're using these tools. Basically, I love this major attributes of leadership as a tool because it helps us see where really our limiting beliefs are. And that's what this work is really about, is like, let's bring those limiting beliefs up to the surface to reveal them. That's why it's the good news when these paradigms or the boogeyman comes up, because they come up for us to heal them. Whereas before, we didn't have the tools to be able to do that, and they had us. Now we have them. And it's not a getting rid of process, it's a transformation, because within each one of those paradigms is a gift for us to use as a stepping stone to that next great becoming. So in the workbook, I'm going to give you the tools, almost like your homework assignment for next week, and that is the 10 major causes of failure in leadership. Okay, do not pitch a tent here. This is the same kind of tool as we were using the leadership for. It's just to take a look at where your beliefs are, where you're buying into the status quo, where you are letting the ideas have you instead of you have the ideas. So, for example, it says here, 10 major causes of failure in leadership. Number 1 is the inability to organize details. Okay, so this is really for you to say, where am I lacking in that area? And it says, no genuine leader is ever too busy to do anything which may be required of him in his capacity as a leader. Now, one of the most important things I think under this step here is delegation. And my vision and purpose in my vision is to have a team of people, and that team of people, their passion supports the things that I'm maybe not the best at, and I don't need to spend my time at doing. Perfect example is my lovely assistant, Nava, who helps me do all my IT stuff. She loves doing that stuff. It's easy. For me, my blood pressure goes up, right? But for her, it's just like, oh, this is kind of creative, and I know how to do this, and she figures it out. I have a new person on my team right now. I'm going to start producing some little mini videos around my product. And so I have this guy that's this great marketer and really loves my ideas and understands them, and he's now become a part of my creative team as well. So it's like we're going to take these 10 major causes of failure and not ask them to be failures, but to look at them about where we can find something out about ourselves. And you can do the same thing with how to get the exact position you desire. Now, you may not be searching for a job, but use this little form. Really can be powerful. But you just change the wording around, like decide exactly what kind of, not job, but maybe work that I would love to do, or health, or relationship. You can replace all of that, and then choose the company or individuals for whom you wish to work with. Now, the important part of this in this worksheet is that it is the qualities of. You can name it as a person, but what's really important is to pull out the qualities of this. And you might, like if you're looking at your health, you might look at somebody in your life who is really healthy the way you would like to be. And you can write down that person and look at their qualities. And then just even to look at places that exist. I look at other coaches all the time and see what they're doing and use them for how to create my work. So this is what you can use this, how to get the exact position you desire. Now, what I want to spend the most time on, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, in fact, probably just another few minutes here, is what in the book is called the QQS, okay, and that's the quantity and quality of services. And the most important, I'm going to read to you from page 65, that little right-hand sidebar there that says, adequacy of quality or quantity of service is not sufficient to maintain a permanent market for your services. Get it? Just the QQS is not enough. The conduct or the spirit in which you deliver service is the strong determining factor in the connection with both the price you receive and the duration of your employment. The importance of a pleasing personality has been stressed because it is a factor that enables one to render services in the proper spirit. If one has a personality which pleases and renders service in a spirit of harmony, these assets often make up for the deficiencies of both the quality and the quantity of the services. And what this is really speaking to here is the vibrational frequency that you're operating at. This is kind of an interesting languaging. Pleasing personality. I mean, of course, you want to be a pleasing personality, but what are we really looking here? It's a vibrational frequency. And what's the bottom line here? It's to be in service to give your gift. That's the bottom line. And you're not able to gift your gift unless there's remuneration for it. right? You can't do your very best if you're struggling to know where your next meal is coming or where to feed yourself. So you can work on this worksheet as well and look at the vibration and think about that. It would be really fun to kind of rewrite this workbook for this chapter, but that's another day, right? You can also go into the 30 major causes of failure. I think, this is not exactly the textbook that I would write, but it's got a lot of points. I want you to do the same thing with the failure inventory. And this is going to be to help you create your plan, right? Because if your plan shows that you have a lack of self-discipline, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th on this list, then part of your plan is to create a system of discipline. So that's how we're using these tools of implementation this month to help create our crystallization of our dream, of our plan. And that's as far as we're going to go. That's a lot. That's a big chunk of stuff. But I kind of wanted to get through all this failure inventory because next week we'll be going on to our assets inventory, our inventory of self. So I want to do that. But I want to talk a little bit about this concept of this is kind of archaic language. It's like past. And this book was really written at a time that was really amazing, where people were beginning to discover the use of these invisible powers and laws and applying them to business and calling it riches, because they were finding out that they could be more successful and give their gifts greater if they learned how to use these invisible powers and to apply them. So when we listen to this language, we want to be really conscious and cautious about maybe how we limit it. So I want to talk about the idea of capital, right? Capital consists not of money alone, right? So one of the things is that we have capital as part of that cycle as well, right? Action, and we have capital. Capital consists not of money alone, but more particularly of highly organized, intelligent groups of people who plan ways and means of using money more efficiently for the good of the public and profitability for themselves. Now, oh my gosh, I went to this lecture last night that was so amazing. It was just very powerful. So this guy is from Yale, and this was at Berkeley last night, and he has a program called Emotional Intelligence. And his belief is we can teach kids both a language and to use that language of our emotions, then kids would be much more healthy. We as adults, when we grow up, would be more healthy when we grow up as adults. You know what I mean. Anyway, he's partnered with Lady Gaga. His goal with this partnership is to survey all of the kids in every school across the nation, and from that create legislature to get through the government to change our educational system. And that's what this is talking about here. Highly organized, intelligent groups of people who plan ways and means of using money efficiently for the good of the public and profitability for themselves. Now, one of the things that I think often gets missed in this work is to wave the magic wand and to believe that we can just have something for nothing. It is not a part of this program. So it says from Think and Grow Rich, you can depend upon this much. Capitalistic society guarantees, now don't get buzzed by the capitalistic society. We're just talking about the use of forces, resources. Okay, so the capitalistic society guarantees every person the opportunity to provide useful service and to collect riches in proportion to the value of the service. The system denies no one this right, but it does not and cannot promise something for nothing. The law of economics, this is what they're calling the invisible law that we're working with right here. We would call it some other things. The law of economics itself irrevocably controls the system that neither recognizes nor tolerates for long getting without giving. So here completes the circuit, right? We've got all kinds of things here. If we take out any component of it, we lose the circuit. So we have action, we have capital, we have giving, we have receiving, and there's more things that are in the circuit. But you take out any component of that, and you have cut off the circuit. Now, one of the things also in there that cuts off our circuit is our self-image. And that's a lot of what we work on in this work is our self-image. Just the last thing I highlighted here, say, may one refuse to adapt oneself to the law of economics? Certainly. Certainly. You can disconnect that circuit. And then that's a choice that you make, and that'll be the result that you get, is a broken circuit and not able to use the circuit.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Here are 2 exclusive podcast listener offers. First, for a limited time, podcast listeners can work with Christi in person at a deep discount. Christi offers a unique coaching modality of her own creation that helps clients discover their own answers to where they're stuck and how to move forward. As one of her clients puts it, it always works. This transformative process is designed to help you identify blocks and create breakthroughs in your personal and professional life. As a thank you for listening to the podcast, you're eligible for a special discount. Normally $97 for a half-hour introductory session, podcast listeners get a $70 discount automatically applied if you use this link, masteringtheartoflife.com/podcast-IWD-offer. That's masteringtheartoflife.com/podcast-IWD-offer. And that link is in the podcast general description as well. Second, you can get the entire library of Mastering the Art of Life with PDF notes and worksheets for each lesson, plus bonuses at no cost at masteringtheartoflife.com/9-month opt-in, all one word, masteringtheartoflife.com/9-month opt-in. That link is also in the general podcast description.